Ladies and gentlemen, Smarks like, welcome to Better Than Most Wrestling Podcast, the Smarky Podcast, number 5, and it's prediction themed this time. So this is basically just my thoughts on the Royal Rumble of 2016, because I'm pretty sure there's a couple people who are interested to know my thoughts. And I'm willing to share them with you, because I have a lot of things I have to get off my chest. I don't even hate you, Royal Rumble. I don't even dislike you. I do like you. I like you a hell of a lot more than I like most pay-per-views in the back. I hate this idea that you think you're the best, because you're not. Money in the Bank's the best. It's the best in the world. Sorry, I had to cut the little CM Punk. Never mind. Oh god, okay. Anyway, so the first match is the qualifier match, which, yeah, you heard me right here. Or at the Royal Rumble, they have a Fatal 4-Way Rumble qualifier. The 4 teams, the Dudley Boys, the Ascension, Mark Henry and Jack Swagger, and Darren Young and Damian Sandow. Now, let me just discuss the participants real quick. The Dudley Boys aren't in the Rumble. The Dudley Boys aren't even in the Royal Rumble. They have to have a qualifier. They're not even in the Rumble. They have to have a qualifier. One of the hottest tag teams isn't even in. Okay. The Ascension, you know, they're obviously not going to win. Mark Henry and Jack Swagger, since when? What? Since when are Mark Henry and Jack Swagger like even acquaintances? Why do they throw random people in? And it's a big spoiler that they're not going to win, because Mark Henry, I think, has confirmed that he's not going to be in this Rumble. He said at one point, you know, this was his last Rumble, but if I'm correct, he did say he's not going to be in this one. So basically, they're not going to win. And Darren Young and Damian Sandow, what happened to Titus? Is Titus automatically in? And they're like, oh, Darren, no, dog. You're out, dude. I don't understand. Who was the genius to book these people, right? Damian Sandow should just be in there because he's freaking Damian Sandow, but that's for a different story of the burial of Damian Sandow. Dudley Boy should already be in there. The Ascension, I don't understand, you know, why the Ascension are a part of this. I mean, the Ascension, nobody really cares about at this point. Personally, I say send them back to NXT, where they'll be properly treated. But, again, for another time. As for Henry and Swagger, they're obviously not going to win, so I think it's going to be the Dudley Boys here. The Dudley Boys will be winning the kickoff show. I didn't want to spend too much time on this anyway. Next match, Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. I will say it flat out. This feud has kind of been a flop for me. There hasn't been any really good segments. Most of the, you know, star power is Ric Flair, because he, you know, is a 2-time Hall of Famer, a 16-time WWE, World Heavyweight Champion, and just a legend in general. So I don't understand why you'd make. I get the little thing. You know, she wants to be like her dad, even though her NXT gimmick was, I'm better than my dad. That's why she has the figure 8, huh? Are we forgetting about this gimmick here? Are we forgetting her gimmick in NXT? But then they just totally switched it over, and you're like, yeah, you're like your dad now. Her gimmick is just being her dad's daughter. That's it. Her gimmick is being Ric Flair's daughter. That's it. That's a gimmick. That is the worst gimmick right now in WWE. People say Stardust's gimmick is bad. I disagree. Charlotte's gimmick is awful. Please switch it back to NXT, Charlotte. But we all know Vince. We need Ric Flair, damn it. We need Ric Flair in Royal Rumble. We need him to be Charlotte's manager. So, who knows? This could build up for Mick Foley being Becky Lynch's manager, which I want to discuss real quick. Mick Foley has said that he would be up to being Becky Lynch's manager. So maybe, just maybe, WWE is going to book that, because, you know, I don't think he'd just say it out of nowhere. I think WWE has a plan for Mania with these two individuals. Unless, you know, if my prediction is true here, Becky Lynch will overcome the odds and win the WWE Divas title. And then we can launch into a feud of Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, where Banks is like, oh, remember back in NXT when you couldn't get the job done, you know, blah, 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 blah. And Becky Lynch proves to her and everybody else that she can just hang. She can hang with anybody. She can hang with Charlotte, Banks, Bayley. You know, it's that overcoming the odds story where Sasha Banks, usually is the better wrestler. She's better than her in the ring. And Becky Lynch is like, you know what? No, I'm better now. You were gone for a little bit. I've been getting better. I'm the champion. Bring it on. Let's go. So then Becky Lynch overcomes the odds, makes a good WrestleMania match, because who doesn't want a Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch match? Hopefully for at least 25 minutes. That would be nice, huh? Those NXT matches they had was magical. Do you guys remember the magic they had? So, flop of a feud. Not any good segments except for Monday night, this past Monday night. It was good, all right? When Becky Lynch basically called out Ric Flair and Charlotte. I thought it was great. The match with Tamina was stale, but the ending, the outcome was good. It built up towards the feud. That's what they needed to do every single week. Not just have freaking Charlotte going, woo, freaking over and over again, and her dad wooing with her, but they needed stuff like this. So WWE continue to book like this, and I definitely guarantee you more people are caring. Like, I don't really care that much. I'm more interested in the outcome of it, and then hopefully if they launch something in Mania, I'll care more. But as of right now, I just think they need to move on from Charlotte, and they need to move on, and I think they understand that because nobody really cares, which is why they're going to have Becky win the title. Everybody's happy. That's how it's going to work. That's how I personally think it's going to work, and if it does work like that, I'm pretty sure none of us are actually going to be that disappointed, because Becky Lynch is a deserving champion, a great wrestler, and an all-around great worker for the business. So if she gets the title, great. If they don't freaking have her win it and Charlotte wins, WWE better have some good plans. I'm talking like Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania, because that's what we're going to need. Anyways, Becky Lynch wins the title. My predictions. The Usos versus the New Day. What to say about this? What am I going to say about this? The New Day have been the champions for quite some time now. There isn't really any good tag teams in the tag team division right now in the main roster. There isn't, okay. So what are they going to do? Are they really going to drop the titles to the Usos? Really? WWE, I hope you guys look online, because you do have to realize that a lot of us are getting sick of the Usos. I remember at one point when they were all freaking over as crap, the New Age Outlaws were freaking heckled the whole time, and we wanted the Usos to win the tag team titles, and they did a couple times now. And we're just kind of sick of them. We're sick of the whole gimmick where they come in as faces, freaking blah blah. You say ooh, you say oh, so okay. We're not buying it anymore, right? We don't care enough to invest our time into these guys. Now I get it. When you're there, it's cool to go, so I get it. It's cool. But a tag team like the New Day, who's entertaining every single week, and like I said in a couple videos before this, I think the New Day is still entertaining, no matter how much they're quote-unquote shoved down our throats. Because personally, I don't think, 10 minutes being out in the ring, talking about something, or them being shoved into every segment for, freaking whatever reason, I don't think that's bad. Why is that bad? They're the only entertaining part of Raw, and I get it, we're overusing the New Day, or they are. Trust me, if it was us, I don't think the New Day would be the most entertaining thing, because, there wouldn't be injuries, because a lot of us wouldn't have booked house shows to begin with, but injuries, man. Anyways, the New Day is doing fine, okay? And as soon as they aren't over anymore, it's going to be freaking, it's going to suck, because I can already see it. Since everybody's getting sick of them, people are going to start booing them because we're seeing them, quotes, too much. Too much. Entertaining guys that are enjoying what they're doing, and they're good at doing what they're doing at the moment, and you don't like it. Alright? That's sad. To me, this is like a to me, it's like a reincarnation of Team Hell No. I still go back and watch their freaking little segments and their matches to this day. I did it like a couple days ago. I want New Day to live forever, basically. I can't see them breaking up, but freaking somehow, some way, it's going to happen. And then what? Kofi Kingston leaving, freaking doing his thing, going back to mid-card. Big E not winning the WWE World Heavyweight Championship like everybody wants. And Xavier Woods, where's he going to go, huh? He'll probably get released. I don't want that. I don't want that. All right? Keep them over. If people are saying they're getting shoved down everyone's throats too much, then maybe you shouldn't let them keep on the titles, because if they drop the titles, then they wouldn't be cared about as much. Then they become jabronis, and I don't think anybody wants that right now. Or actually, people do want that, but do you really want the Usos to win the titles? I understand that if you have a problem with the New Day, but do you think the Usos are any freaking better? The Usos have been stale for years at this point. The New Day is just becoming stale now just because they're in every single segment. So maybe lay back on the segments, WWE, but just please don't drop the title to the Usos. I mean, you can want whatever you want, okay? You can want the Usos to win the tag titles. That's fine with me. I don't care. Just know the New Day is a better choice to retain the titles. Therefore, I think the New Day should keep the titles intact with them. Wait for a better tag team to come up, maybe Enzo and Cass, okay? Have them come up, have them win it, but definitely don't have the Usos retain the titles. Final predictions, New Day retains. Now this is interesting. This is probably the second most interesting thing right next to the Royal Rumble. Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens, WWE Intercontinental Championship match. Last man standing, from what I've heard. So, actually, that's not from what I've heard. I freaking know. So these guys have built this feud up. With the help of Mauro Ranallo on SmackDown, they have built this feud up to the top. This is a A+ feud. This is grade A feud. This is going to be good wrestling. It's had good segments, good promos. Everything's spot on. Mauro Ranallo commentating on SmackDown is helping that. There's nothing wrong with this feud. It is great. So, as for anybody winning, it doesn't really matter to me, but I'll tell you my take on this. Dean Ambrose has held on to the United States title, and this is the Intercontinental Championship, so he's only had 2 titles ever. So if you want him to be a respectable face, you'd have to keep the title on him, unless you have bigger plans for Dean Ambrose. But I don't think Dean Ambrose is going to fit anywhere, because we know who Dean Ambrose is. We know how he works in the ring. We understand, what he's aiming toward. He's not going to go freaking try to win the Royal Rumble to fight Roman Reigns. He's like, no, I got my own thing to worry about. Okay, I got Kevin Owens back here bothering me. So if you keep the title on Dean Ambrose, it'll keep him busy. That's what I'm saying. And if he's busy, he doesn't have time to go fight for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I don't think WWE wants him as WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And they don't want him to win the Royal Rumble or anything, so he's not going to go on anything bigger. But Kevin Owens, on the other hand, really great heel. Probably the greatest heel in the company as of right now. And Triple H wants to push him. Have Kevin Owens lose to Dean Ambrose, have him move on to Fastlane. Now, this is where we can set up a ton of stuff later in the night in this video. It's nighttime for me. I don't know about you, but later in Fastlane, about right around then, they'll have probably Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, okay? And just when you think Brock Lesnar is going to win against Roman Reigns, because my predictions, let's just say Triple H wins the title or something, so they have to have a contendership for the title. So it's Lesnar versus Reigns. All of a sudden, when you think Lesnar's about to win, Owens comes out, hits Roman first, so Brock Lesnar loses, and then attacks Lesnar. Or not even that. Maybe he just attacks Roman for the heck of it. Lesnar gets pissed. Owens and Lesnar got a feud on their hands. And it builds up to Mania. That would be a good opponent. If you keep building up Owens, though, you have to keep building him up. I don't know if you're going to keep building him up, though, if he loses to Dean Ambrose. But if you can move on quickly and fastly, you definitely can make a Lesnar and Owens feud. But that varies. So let's say that doesn't happen. Let's say that's just totally out of the ballpark. I would think, though, that's how you'd build it up. Owens comes out because he's mad at Reigns, or he just wants to get at Lesnar for whatever reason. Because let's say Roman throws him out in the Royal Rumble or something, and Owens is just dwelling about this, right? And so Owens freaking goes in and attacks him because he's mad because he didn't win the Royal Rumble because of Reigns. You got a match. You got a match between Lesnar and freaking Owens because Lesnar's like, I deserve that title. You know, can you imagine the promos between Owens and freaking Heyman? This could build up something here. This could be something great. But I have a more believable Lesnar feud, honestly. I mean, it doesn't equal, you know, Owens freaking more or less his dominance in the ring as to the person I'll mention later who should fight Lesnar. But Dean Ambrose, if you want him to keep him as a good babyface, you know, and you want him just kind of stay in mid-card with the title, keep the title on him, okay? But if you really want Kevin Owens to win, make him win, all right? Have him win the title against Ambrose and push Ambrose, but I don't think you're going to be able to push him. Like, it'll probably go back to like a freaking Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper feud, you know, you're freaking sending way down the mid-card. So I think Dean Ambrose is going to win, and they're going to push Kevin Owens to bigger and better things. That's what I personally think. That might not mean a Lesnar feud right away, you know, for Mania. I'm just saying in the future he'll be pushed on to bigger and better things. So I have Dean Ambrose win, and there's that. Kalisto versus Alberto Del Rio. Yeah. Kalisto. You know, freaking John Cena. Kalisto. Yeah. This is interesting. Because if you really, 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 really wanted to, you know, sell this, you wouldn't be playing hot potato with the U.S. title. I'm not totally just angry that you did this, but I'm a little upset because you want to build the U.S. title up, but you can't do that if you're playing hot potato with it by giving it to Kalisto, then to Del Rio, then having a match at the Rumble. I mean, it's the only thing it's building up for is unpredictability. We don't know if Del Rio's going to win because freaking A, you gave it to him on SmackDown. Nobody would have expected that. Nobody would have expected him winning the title on SmackDown. All right? Nobody would have expected that because it never happens. And nobody would have expected Kalisto beating Del Rio on Monday Night Raw. So it's 100% great for unpredictability. But as for valuating the title, I don't think, you know, it was the best way to go. I think you should have just waited till the Rumble to have this match to begin with. But there's not much to discuss here other than the League of Nations possibly interfering, and I don't even think that's going to happen, honestly. So they have this match that it's just a freaking regular match on the card. You know, it'll probably honestly be the match before the Royal Rumble. Wouldn't surprise me. You know, a cool down match from Owens and Ambrose. Maybe not. Who knows? But I can see it. I don't think anybody's going to care too much unless Kalisto wins. Kalisto needs to win. Kalisto, if you want him to be the next Rey Mysterio, he needs to win. And if you want Del Rio to win, you better make him leave from the League of Nations because the U.S. title is only getting less important from the League of Nations stable. So I'm saying Kalisto will win because WWE understands they need to build him as a character and they need to build up the U.S. title, and this is something interesting. Kalisto will win this match. And finally, the Royal Rumble, the 30-man Royal Rumble for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship defended by Roman Reigns against 29 other men. So, who's gonna win, huh? Who's gonna win? I can only say my thoughts here. This is what's floating around, and this is what I'm going to pick up. I'll discuss. This is really the only option here. Or actually, there's a couple, but I'll talk about the main one last. The first one being the Bullet Club debuts. AJ Styles has multiply dropped little spoilers and little tweets and, you know, little stuff at Ring or whatever house show he was at or something. He was at, I don't remember where he was at. Maybe it was Ring of Honor. I'm not even sure. Anyways, a couple days ago, he said he's moving on to bigger and better things, hinting he was going to the WWE. And then the crowd chanted Royal Rumble, and he said, if there's a spot open, I'll go there and win for you guys. And the crowd went crazy. That little hint right there possibly means AJ Styles will be debuting at the Royal Rumble, which he needs to win. If not, don't have him debut. I don't know if the rest of the Bullet Club is going. Honestly, I don't know if everybody's signed. Nobody actually knows if everybody's signed or not. So if you want Styles to be in the Royal Rumble, have him win. He needs to win. You need to solidify him in WWE history by having him win the title on his debut in the Royal Rumble. Odds of that are very, very slim. So slim that I can't see it happening. If you don't have the rest of the Bullet Club debuting with him, if you don't have Gallows and Anderson debuting, you probably won't win. Unless WWE is going for something super unpredictable, this won't happen. It just won't. Which is why I'm saying the only realistic option here is Triple H has been gone since TLC. It's about time he comes back and, screws Roman Reigns. As in, he comes in, Roman Reigns is, doing good, and he throws him out of the ring. Something to that effect. And then that's it. Triple H wins the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So, there's 3 guys, and some way... There's a way they'll book it. I don't even know, because I don't even know if this will happen. Personally, my opinion, have Triple H come in, but don't have him, frickin' win the Royal Rumble. Have him come in, just eliminate Roman Reigns. And he doesn't even have to be in the Rumble. Just have him throw him out. Just have him run in, and just throw Reigns out. Kind of like the Kane effect, from when he threw out CM Punk a couple years back. Kane came in, threw out Punk, even though he wasn't even in the match anymore. But that screwed Punk, so he freaking wouldn't go on to Mania. Even though he quit after that. But that was the plan. He wasn't going to go on to Mania for the title. Do the same thing here. Do the same exact thing here. Just have Triple H throw him out. Triple H doesn't have to win the Royal Rumble. Just have him come in and throw Roman Reigns out. That's all you got to do. Nothing more, nothing less. And then that could leave an opening for a fresh guy to win. Or even Chris Jericho, for that matter. But I can't see them doing that either. So some way, somehow, they'll find a way to have Triple H win the Royal Rumble. Leading up to a number 1 contendership match, where this is where it gets interesting. Lesnar and Reigns feud to fight Triple H at Mania. Now, it's going to be possibly Owens that interferes, or it could be Bray Wyatt, which was the man I was talking about earlier. Because Bray Wyatt comes in, interferes with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in their match at Fastlane for the number 1 contendership of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then Bray attacking Roman for some reason, or just something happens to the point where Brock loses. Brock freaks out, and Bray freaks out basically, and they got a feud on their hands where it's a masterpiece, really. We got a hint at it on Monday Night Raw. Bray Wyatt took out Brock and Roman. That's interesting to me. That's interesting enough to the point where I want to see a feud between Lesnar and Wyatt. That could build something up. Have him interfere in their match at Fastlane, and you've got a good feud on your hands. And you're building up Bray. Watch, he won't freaking win though. That's the problem I have. If you feed him to Lesnar, that'll make me more mad, because I'm sick of Bray Wyatt being sidelined all the freaking time. I could go more deeply into what I'm thinking here. Maybe I will eventually. Maybe next podcast or something. But this was just my predictions, and my prediction is Triple H winning the Royal Rumble and the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Therefore, the main event at Mania will probably be Roman Reigns versus Triple H, passing the torch of some kind. Who knows? We'll see. We got the Royal Rumble in 3 days, all right? We'll see what happens. Anyways, I thank you all for watching. If you are new and you've watched this whole thing, I'd appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and hit the like button if you are new or aren't new. Anyways, I thank you all for watching. I'll see you later. Ball.